got my license at 16, I got a whole lot of speeding tickets and decided I needed to put that speed on the track. And I started doing track days when I was 17. And by the time I was 18, we had a Spec Miata. Now I'm currently 22 running in this series. Well, I started running a 1990 1.6 Spec Miata. And I just was kind of getting into it because I wanted to do some racing, and I saw Spec Miata was so popular. We started running so much events, and we started to realize that we need to move up. So we ended up getting the NB in 2002 with Spec Miata and loved it. Each track is different. Each time you go to a new track, the car is going to handle a little bit different, and being able to adjust the car to you and being able to feel how, you push it 2 miles an hour faster in this car and get that extra half second. And in this car, especially moving up to the ND model, is just insane. It's so soft, it's so easy to drive, the steering is a lot easier. My dad threw me in a Corvette when I was 17, had a whole lot of horsepower, and it took me out and threw me in an NA Spec Miata, and I was like, man, I'm the worst driver in the world. And then being able to move up from the NA, the NB, and now the ND, you'd be amazed what all this car teaches you. Throwing yourself into a street car that's got a whole lot of horsepower doesn't teach you a whole lot. Whenever we receive the race car, this is the way it comes. So whenever it gets received to the long road racing facility, it is a street car. So it comes with everything you would if you went to a dealership and were to drive it straight off the lot. So they, from that process, start on taking everything out, the extra seats, the radio, they change the wheels. They change everything. The whole car is redesigned and meant for the track. But at the same time, it keeps the aspect and the history of Mazda and the Miata, with it being light, with it being nimble, with it being fun. It's still quick. It's a fun little car. You can whip it around a little bit, which I think why a lot of us favor the series, because being light and also being fast, but being a little bit down on power, you could really get at it. And then that's whenever the driving aspect comes in, which is why we enjoy the series so much. Every single car is the same. There is not one car that has any advantage or disadvantage as the other. So whenever we go out on grid and you can see the top 20 on the grid sheet are within a couple tenths of each other, it's because we're all working and fighting for the same thing. We're all pushing the car to its absolute limit, which is the exciting part of it, because there's always that little bit extra that you're trying to find out of this car, but it's there. You just have to look for it. See, we took the passenger seat out. We have a cool suit system set up in here now so that we can use that. It saves us a little bit of weight, but also we've used the cool suit to keep us cool as we're running through all these endurance races. Now our races are only 45 minutes long, but if we were to choose to run a little bit longer, we do have that system set up in there still. We also used to have a radio, which we have taken out. So you can see we have our on and off switch, and then we have override buttons, and we also had an emergency stop button so that we are able to stop, throw on the fire extinguishers if we need be, and have basically our main controls there. Now we still have the AC unit hookups. Now we don't use it, but we do also, we have the dials in between. Obviously it makes it feel a little bit better. It is still like a street car. The steering has changed a little bit, so you can see that we still have the dash, we have the speedometer and the tachometer, but we've covered it up with our aim system. So it's a little bit in the way, but no need to be looking at all of that because our aim system gives us every bit of detail that we may need. So it's fairly light. It's changed a few things, even the inside of the car door, we've shaved all that off. The car is extremely light compared to what the street car would be. So it's got a lot of pros in it, and of course can't go wrong with the pink roll cage. So of course with the Miatas being a convertible, we have taken that top off and we've added the roll cage. The pink roll cage is kind of a statement for us because that's my favorite color and it sticks out a little bit. We started the pink roll cage whenever we had our 2002 Spec Miata, and it just kind of stuck with us after that. That was an image for us, and people knew who we were because of our roll cage, and obviously that's a good thing to be known by. So we decided to do that. Now weight-wise, on taking the top off, when we add this, we still have to make our weight, so works out pretty well. Add a little bit of padding to it where the driver would sit, and we replaced the driver's seat with one of our racing seats that is FIA approved. So change that up a little bit. Other than that, we still do have cup holders. They are there. We do not use them. They look cool though, so they are there as well. But other than that, try to keep it original, and then keeping the history of the Mazda Miatas through the street car and changing it into an MX-5 Cup car.